One popular healthy milk spikes blood sugar faster than dessert, and most diabetics drink it every single morning. If your glucose stays high even when you avoid sugar, listen carefully, because this hidden mistake may be happening inside your kitchen right now. I've seen patients remove bread, desserts, even fruit, but their blood sugar still climbed higher every month. Why? Because nobody warned them about liquid carbohydrate. And here's the dangerous part. Some milk products hit your bloodstream so quickly your pancreas struggles to keep up, especially after age 60. That leads to stronger cravings, morning fatigue, brain fog after breakfast, and slowly more insulin resistance every year. Most people blame aging, but often the real problem starts at breakfast. Stay with me, because the best milk for diabetics is not the one most people expect. I'm Dr. Nox Carter, and for more than 20 years I've worked with adults struggling with diabetes and insulin resistance. And I want to tell you something important right now. Most diabetics are not failing. Most were simply taught the wrong things. People hear the same advice constantly. Avoid candy, avoid soda, avoid cake, and yes, those foods matter. But here's the problem. Many healthy foods raise blood sugar quietly every single day, especially drinks, because liquid carbohydrates move fast, much faster than most people realize. Your body does not care if the package says natural, organic, or plant-based. Your pancreas only responds to glucose, and some milk products create dangerous glucose spikes within minutes. This is where it gets dangerous. The damage usually happens slowly. Higher fasting glucose, more fatigue after breakfast, more cravings in the afternoon. Then one day people suddenly need more medication, and they never understand why. Listen carefully. The milk in your refrigerator may be helping your diabetes, or silently making it worse every morning. Richard was 68 years old. Every morning he checked his glucose before breakfast, then again after breakfast, then again before lunch. His numbers kept getting worse, and it terrified him. He stopped eating donuts, stopped drinking soda, stopped ordering fast food completely. But nothing changed. His doctor increased his medication twice in 1 year. Richard became obsessed with eating perfectly. Breakfast no longer felt normal. It felt like a test he kept failing. One morning he almost blacked out while driving. His hands became shaky at a red light. His vision blurred for several seconds, and suddenly he felt terrified. Not of diabetes, of losing control. Later that week, his daughter visited his apartment. She opened the refrigerator. Inside were 3 cartons of oat milk. Heart-healthy, plant-based, natural energy. Richard used it every morning in coffee and cereal. He truly believed he was helping his body. But nobody explained how fast processed oat milk turns into glucose. Nobody explained the missing fiber. Nobody explained the blood sugar spike. And here's the shocking part. Richard's morning glucose improved within 2 weeks after changing only one thing. The milk, not a new medication, not a strict diet, just one daily swap. Most people don't realize this. Small habits repeated every morning become powerful after months and years. Let me explain this simply. Imagine your bloodstream as a highway. Glucose is the traffic moving through it. Insulin is the traffic controller. Now imagine thousands of extra cars suddenly flooding that highway all at once. Everything slows down, traffic builds, pressure increases everywhere. That is exactly what happens when high glycemic milk hits your bloodstream, especially liquid carbohydrates, because liquids absorb very quickly, much faster than solid foods. This is where it gets dangerous. Many milk products contain processed starches, added sugars, or rapidly absorbed carbohydrates. And when those hit your bloodstream, your pancreas works harder and harder to respond. Over time, the system becomes exhausted. That is insulin resistance. Most people think diabetes happens suddenly. It does not. It builds slowly through repeated glucose spikes, morning after morning, year after year. Listen carefully. The problem is not only sweetness. The real problem is speed, how fast glucose enters your bloodstream. And some healthy milk products move frighteningly fast. That is why many diabetics feel exhausted after breakfast. Their glucose rises quickly, then crashes hard. That crash creates fatigue, brain fog, hunger, and cravings later in the day. Then the cycle repeats again tomorrow morning. Stay with me, because now we need to talk about the worst milk choices diabetics still trust every day. Let's start with the first mistake: whole cow's milk. Now, cow's milk is not poison, but many diabetics underestimate it completely. Because people think of milk as calcium and protein, they forget about lactose. Lactose is milk sugar, and when you drink multiple glasses every day, that sugar load adds up quickly. One glass in coffee, another with cereal, another at dinner. Suddenly, your body is processing far more carbohydrates than expected. Most people never count milk when tracking blood sugar problems. That is the hidden issue. Now let's talk about the worst offender for many diabetics, oat milk. This one shocks people every time. Because oat milk is heavily marketed as healthy, plant-based, heart-friendly, natural. But here's the truth. Processed oat milk can spike blood sugar extremely fast, sometimes faster than people expect from dessert. Most people don't realize the fiber from whole oats is heavily reduced during processing. What remains is rapidly absorbed starch, and liquid starch enters the bloodstream quickly. This is where it gets dangerous. I've seen patients switch from soda to oat milk believing they made a healthy decision. Then their fasting glucose became worse, not better, and they never understood why. Now let's move to rice milk. Rice milk is one of the highest glycemic options available. Think about white rice. Now imagine it in liquid form. Almost no fiber, very little protein, very little fat. Nothing slows the glucose spike. For diabetics, rice milk can overwhelm blood sugar quickly, especially in the morning. And finally, the most deceptive category, sweetened plant-based milks. Sweetened almond milk, sweetened coconut milk, sweetened soy milk, vanilla-flavored creamers, caramel-flavored healthy coffee drinks. Many contain enormous amounts of added sugar, but the packaging hides it beautifully. Green labels, words like natural and organic, pictures of almonds and oats. Meanwhile, some contain 10 to 15 grams of sugar per serving. Listen carefully. One single word changes everything. Unsweetened. If that word is missing, check the label immediately, because many diabetics are drinking liquid sugar without realizing it. Linda was 74 years old, and unlike Richard, she stopped paying attention completely. She felt tired all the time anyway. So she told herself, what difference does it make now? Every morning she drank large flavored coffees, vanilla creamers, sweet foam, sugar-free flavored syrups, products advertised as diabetic-friendly, but her energy kept collapsing after breakfast. Some mornings her hands trembled while holding a coffee mug. Other days she forgot simple things, names, appointments, even conversations. Then one hot afternoon, Linda collapsed while gardening outside. Her neighbor found her confused and dehydrated. At the hospital, her glucose levels were dangerously high, and Linda could not understand why. She rarely ate dessert, rarely touched candy. But doctors discovered something important. Liquid sugars were hitting her bloodstream all day long. Not from soda. From the products she poured into coffee every morning. That was the twist she never expected. Listen carefully. Many diabetics focus only on food, but drinks can quietly create the biggest glucose spikes, especially after age 60 when insulin sensitivity naturally becomes weaker. This is where things finally changed for Linda. She switched to unsweetened soy milk. Within weeks, her morning crashes became less severe. Her cravings dropped, her energy stabilized, and for the first time in years, she stopped feeling afraid after breakfast. Stay with me, because now we are finally reaching the best milk options for blood sugar control. Now let's talk about the milk choices that actually help blood sugar stability. And we'll start with a strong option, unsweetened almond milk. This is one of the easiest swaps diabetics can make. Most unsweetened almond milks contain only 1 or 2 grams of carbohydrates per cup. That is dramatically lower than oat milk, lower than cow's milk, and much easier on your pancreas. Because the glucose impact stays small, there is no massive sugar flood, no sharp spike after breakfast. Many people notice their morning glucose becomes more stable within days. But listen carefully. The word unsweetened matters enormously. Sweetened almond milk is completely different. Always check the label. Now let's move to another underrated option, unsweetened coconut milk. Not the thick canned version used for cooking. I'm talking about the refrigerated drinkable version. This option is naturally low in carbohydrates, and many people enjoy the creamier texture, especially in coffee. It creates very little blood sugar disruption, and for some people it feels more satisfying than almond milk. But now we arrive at the option that surprises almost everyone, unsweetened soy milk. For many diabetics, this is the best overall choice, and here's why. Soy milk contains much more protein than almond or coconut milk, usually 7 to 8 grams per cup. Protein slows glucose absorption. That means fewer spikes, more stable energy, less hunger after breakfast, less snacking later in the day. This is where it gets powerful. Many diabetics stay trapped inside the spike and crash cycle. High glucose after breakfast, energy crash 2 hours later, cravings in the afternoon, then more carbohydrates to recover energy. Unsweetened soy milk helps interrupt that cycle, and studies consistently show it produces flatter glucose responses than many other milk options. Not perfectly flat, but significantly more stable. Now, soy is not appropriate for everyone. Some people have allergies, others have specific thyroid concerns. Always speak with your physician if you have medical conditions requiring caution. But for most adults, unsweetened soy milk performs extremely well for blood sugar management. And most people never expect that answer. Because marketing focuses on trends, your pancreas only cares about glucose load. Now I want you to try something simple, not forever. Just for 14 days. Go to your refrigerator tonight, pick up the milk you currently use, turn the carton around, read 2 lines carefully, total carbohydrates, added sugars. Most people never look, and that one habit keeps blood sugar elevated for years. Now compare it to unsweetened soy milk or unsweetened almond milk. The difference becomes obvious immediately. Listen carefully. Do not change everything at once. That is where most people fail. Just make one swap. Use the new milk in your coffee, your cereal, your smoothies. Keep the rest of your routine mostly consistent. Then pay attention to your body. Check your fasting glucose each morning. Notice your energy after breakfast. Notice whether your afternoon cravings become weaker. Notice whether the morning brain fog improves. This is where it gets exciting. Many people notice changes surprisingly fast. Not because the milk is magical, because repeated glucose spikes finally become smaller, and smaller spikes create less metabolic stress. That means your pancreas gets a break. Your energy becomes steadier. Your mornings feel more predictable again. Stay with me. Because there is one final thing every diabetic needs to understand about blood sugar damage. I want to tell you something important. Good blood sugar control is not only about numbers on a screen. It is about protecting your future. Because high glucose damages the body slowly, and most damage happens silently. First, your eyesight. Tiny blood vessels in the eyes become weaker over time. Many diabetics do not notice changes until vision already starts fading. Then the kidneys. Your kidneys filter blood every minute of every day, but elevated glucose places enormous stress on them. And kidney damage often develops quietly for years. Then nerve damage begins. Burning feet, numb toes, sharp pain at night, difficulty walking safely. This is where it gets dangerous. Diabetes also increases stroke risk and heart disease risk dramatically, especially after age 60. But here's what many people never hear. Small daily habits matter more than occasional perfect behavior. The milk you pour every morning matters. The breakfast you repeat every day matters, because repeated patterns create long-term outcomes, not isolated moments. And I know managing diabetes feels exhausting sometimes. Many people feel discouraged, overwhelmed, afraid their body is slowly getting worse no matter what they do. But listen carefully. Your body is not failing you. Most people were simply never taught how hidden glucose spikes actually work. Now you understand the pattern, and once you understand the pattern, you can finally begin changing it. So here's your challenge this week. Check the milk in your kitchen, read the label carefully, and if it is loaded with sugar or high carbohydrates, make one simple swap. Then give your body 14 days. Let your glucose meter tell the story. Not marketing, not packaging, your own numbers. And before you leave, I want you to do one more thing. Go down to the comments and tell me which milk you currently use most often. Cow's milk, oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, because your comment may help someone else who feels frustrated and confused right now. And if this video helped you understand diabetes more clearly, subscribe to the channel. Every week, we share practical, simple, evidence-based strategies for adults over 60 who want better energy, better glucose control, and a healthier future. I'm Dr. Nox Carter, and I'll see you in the next video.